In the last 18 months, AI has changed Airbnb forever. And the old ways that we used to get bookings, like discounting your rates or spending thousands on meta ads, just don't work anymore in the new world that we live in. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 new AI tools that the top hosts are using to get more bookings, starting with the first one, which will make your guests instantly go, "This is the place for me." So have you ever clicked on a listing that looks nice, but something just doesn't sit right? You couldn't explain it, so you didn't book. And that's the problem most hosts are dealing with without realizing it. Their listing sounds professional and their messaging sounds robotic. And that results in guests feeling like something's wrong before they've even booked. Think about walking into a 5-star hotel. The website is warm, the front desk greets you by name, and the room matches the brand perfectly. Now imagine the same hotel, but every sign feels written by a different person. It's the same building, but the trust level is totally different. That's exactly what happens when an Airbnb listings are written manually over time. Now here's where things get interesting. Hosts are using custom-trained AI instructions that are eliminating that inconsistency completely, not by writing better, but by setting a voice once and sticking with that tone consistently. Platforms like Hostaway and Hospitable are already doing this at scale, using AI trained on host brand tone to rewrite listings and guest messaging automatically. And hosts are seeing more revenue without changing the price. So once your brand voice is established, you can use this to rewrite your titles, your descriptions, your automated emails, and even those text messages you use to send to guests. So you need to define how you sound once and stick with it. To do this, go to your personalization settings on your ChatGPT or LLM of choice to tell it exactly how you want it to sound. And the results that I'm seeing are huge. Guests won't notice the voice you use, but they will never feel the uneasy feeling of inconsistent messaging. It legitimizes your brand, and the guests love the security of your messaging, making your bookings explode. Sometimes inconsistencies do exist. However, your ChatGPT account might know exactly how to write for your brand, but doesn't understand the wider picture, but being the industry that you know really well. This leads to the next AI tactic 99% of hosts don't even know exists. Here's a stat that should make most hosts feel very uncomfortable. Out of 10,000 Airbnb listings analyzed by AI, only 9% had what it classed as good content. Those 9% didn't perform slightly better. They had a 38% higher chance of beating the rest of the market on bookings. Now ask yourself this: do you honestly think your listing is in that top 9%? Most aren't. And it's not because that host is bad. It's because most hosts aren't making the small change they need to make their listing explode. So here's the problem. Airbnb is reading your listing. It checks if your photos match the description, if amenities mentioned are tagged correctly, and if your title aligns with the guest intent. It's one of these things where a human won't see these gaps, but the AI does. And this is a fantastic opportunity to beat the system whilst keeping your listings accessible for humans. So how can you make these small changes to boost your bookings instantly? Beyond ChatGPT and Google Gemini, there are AI tools built specifically for Airbnb. These are trained on short-term rental data and come ready to optimize your listings. They can rewrite your title and description using SEO keywords, suggest smarter pricing, and even draft replies to common guest questions. So there's tools like Price Labs or AutoRank, and they scan your listing, they flag weak spots, and they suggest improved copy automatically. Traditionally, optimizing your listing meant reading blogs, running A/B tests, or even paying for a consultant. It was slow and subjective. An AI optimization tool does the same job in seconds. It gives clear data-led feedback by comparing your listing against top performers in your market. One host added 2 overlooked features back into their description after an audit from one of these AI tools, and they jumped pages in the search ranking without even having to touch their price. Your average host doesn't immediately see the change that they need to make, but the top hosts let AI show them what guests and Airbnb are actually reacting to. And that brings us to the next way that we can use AI to boost your bookings instantly. If your listing on Airbnb, Vrbo, or Booking.com hasn't changed in months, it's already behind. This is because markets will always change, and as a result, hosts need to change as well. Here's where agentic AI agents are changing the game. So OpenAI have got a new browser called Atlas. Perplexity have got one called Comet. Even Manus AI, Google AI, they've all got one. And these browsers can now operate the internet for you. It's not just suggestions, it can literally take control of your listing and your extranet on Airbnb, and it makes tweaks that you would never have noticed. It's basically like hiring an AI Brian Chesky for your listings. It spots issues you probably miss or spend ages finding. For example, Atlas can instantly compare your listing against top search results. One host that we work with asked it how to structure their profile, and it not only broke down the best practice, but it pulled up live top performing listings and showed exactly what outdated profiles were getting wrong, all in one go, all in one prompt. That kind of comprehensive analysis can lead to immediate improvement. So what is the best way to use these agentic browsers to get more bookings? The agent can also use real-time content fixes. If it notices that your description is missing an attraction that's been mentioned in one of your previous reviews, it could suggest adding it. By having an agent constantly able to monitor and tweak, you ensure your listing is always up to date and fully optimized, which keeps you higher in search and more, which means you appeal to more guests. So instead of reacting after booking drops, you can have a proactive AI agent that will catch these problems before the performance dips. And when your listing is constantly aligned with the top host on Airbnb, the next AI tool can transform all of your visuals for your listings. Here's a harsh truth that most hosts don't want to hear. Guests don't read first, they feel first. And photos decide that feeling. A study showed that professional quality photos increased Airbnb occupancy by 70%. Hiring professional photographers or editors is fantastic, but can get really expensive. We're talking $500 for a photo shoot, plus editing fees. And you have to schedule it in, which might not be feasible to do frequently. Doing it yourself without AI means learning complex photo editing software, which can take hours per photo just to get right. AI, on the other hand, can batch process your entire set of photos in minutes. But here's the twist. Most professional hosts don't need a professional photographer with all the greatest kit. They just need a little AI enhancement to boost the quality and the feeling of the image. So one host that we work with shot photos on their iPhone, ran them through an AI editor, and achieved results comparable to real estate photography within minutes. You can attach your images and ask AI to fix lighting, correct the perspective of your images, warm the color tones, remove the clutters that you may have forgotten to sort out, and it will do it all for you. These changes aren't just cosmetic, they're psychological too. Bright photos feel safer, clear photos feel cleaner, and warmer photos feel more welcoming. And Airbnb's algorithm is starting to reward the listings that guests stop on. So the lesson here is simple. Your photos don't need to be perfect. They just need to be better than the one next to you. And if you want the tool that we use and we recommend, check the description below. Which brings us to the final tip. Most hosts are massively underusing. Let me ask you this question. How long does it take you to reply to a guest properly? Speaking is roughly 3 to 4 times faster than typing on a keyboard, and even more compared to typing on a phone. So a task that may take 20 minutes, you could voice note it in 5. This efficiency means that you're less likely to procrastinate on it. And also when you speak, your tone tends to be more natural and welcoming, where some people, when writing, get stiff. This is where we can use AI to perceive the friendliness while ensuring that the text is professional. So there are voice to AI tools like Whisper Flow that turn spoken replies into clear, on-brand messages instantly. I've been using it now for the past couple of weeks and it is unreal. This matters because faster replies increase booking likelihood. Airbnb rewards response speed. And most people sound better talking than they do typing. You're more natural, you're more detailed, you're more you. So AI can strip out the ums and the waffles, but keep your actual voice. So that means that your listing descriptions and messages feel human, not robotic. And when a listing feels personal, the guests will connect with it and they're more likely to book. You can even use Whisperflow to create your questions to ask your favorite AI of choice. The hidden advantage is that you reply better, more often, and with your brand personality. Most Airbnb hosts aren't losing bookings because they have a bad property. They're missing out because they're still using old tactics that AI is replacing. AI isn't here to replace you. It's not here to replace good hosting, but it's here to fix the little details that the average host misses out on. These are super simple fixes, but there are far more we can fix to compete with the top hosts. In fact, over the last 16 years of being in this game, I've noticed hundreds of things that are separating the top 1% of hosts from the rest. So watch this video next and I'll show you exactly what they are.